Welcome everyone to a special edition of the podcast. I am super excited about today's episode because I'm joined by two amazing educators who have taken the initiative to start a free professional learning opportunity for educators around the world called Teach Symposium, which will be held on August 24th. I am pleased to welcome co-founders Trevor Terry and Céline Gallien to the show. Thank you both for joining me on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
So let's dive into a little bit about who you guys are so that our listeners and our viewers get a feel for who you are before we dive into the conference. So whoever wants to start, tell us a little bit about your background in education.
I can go first. So my name is Céline Galien. I'm an education support teacher at the Anglophone East School District here in Moncton, New Brunswick. And I think I'm starting my 18th year in education this year. I've been an education support teacher for the past 7 years. And prior to that, I was a middle school math, science, technology teacher here in Moncton. I am very passionate about everything education, but really am passionate about getting students to be curious and wonder about the world around them. Some of my outside or side gigs are one, the symposium, and two, I also present with a colleague of mine with something that we call Sparking Curiosity, where we demonstrate curiosity sparks that you can use in your classroom to entice your students to wonder and remain curious.
Okay. And I'm Trevor Terry. I'm also an education support teacher with the Anglophone East School District. I've been in education for around 20 years. And for the most part, I've been an English language arts teacher in the high school. And I've taught all over the place, really. So I've been most recently in the Moncton area, probably for the last 9 years or so. But I taught in Ontario, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, Quebec, a little bit of everywhere. So, but this is where home is now. And for me, I just have a real passion for technology and the integration of technology in classrooms and stuff. So, we're going to talk a little bit more about why we were looking at that. So I'm not going to get too much into that, but technology truly is a passion that drives me, and trying to figure out how to use it for the best kind of bang for your buck, like using it with purpose, right? So that is where I come from.
That is awesome. And both of you seem to have this joy and this passion for education, and your careers have shown that by, whether it be teaching in multiple provinces or whether it is teaching at different grade levels. And now both of you are coaches within the district, just shows that your passion for it is showcased in different opportunities. So let's dive into the Teach Symposium. Why would you, or why did you start this free conference for educators during a global pandemic, nonetheless, going on in the background? So tell us a little bit why you started this Teach Symposium.
Okay. Well, for me, I saw everything going virtual. And I saw it as an opportunity for us to get some of these names here that normally in New Brunswick, we would not have the opportunity to have contact with these people. When they're doing the circuit, New Brunswick somehow gets bypassed a lot of the times, right? So yeah, and looking at quite a few of the different platforms that I'm really passionate about, I just started reaching out to people. And what really kind of sparked this for me were actually two influences. I went to attend a virtual online conference that was out of Washington State, I believe, run by one person using the Microsoft Teams platform. And he had quite a few of the big names. So I saw this, his name's David Olinger, and I saw how he had it set up, and I was like, why can't we do this? And on top of that, some of the presenters, a couple of the presenters for our symposium have a podcast. Don't mean to plug another podcast, but Punk Rock Classrooms. And they're all about do-it-yourself mentality. And so listening to them, that kind of inspired me a little bit more. So again, I reached out to them as well. And then I reached out to my counterpart, who was started off as a sounding board, and I've kind of wheeled her in. So I'll let her talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, so I guess my reasoning for wanting to be involved is I feel like I have attended many virtual conferences in the last 2 years, and I think that offering an event that is free to educators that they can attend on their own time and select the sessions that they're most interested in is one of the main reasons. And I think another reason that I wanted to dive into this project is to kind of showcase tools that I thoroughly enjoy and use daily when I'm in classrooms, and share with other educators the amazing things that exist that they can access. So it was really, it's really been quite a ride. And knowing that Trevor and I have only actually met in person starting this past January. So we became fast friends discussing ed tech, and the rest, I guess, is history.
And I like that you mentioned that the conference is free, because that was a key thing going into it, like just trying to make it accessible for everyone, right?
Yeah, and free is huge. And I was going to say, it's super cool that you attended a conference, kind of lived it, and said, let's do this ourselves. And I actually listened, we're plugging another podcast, but the Punk Rock Classroom, I listened to your podcast with them. If our listeners haven't listened to it, go check it out, Punk Rock Classrooms. Trevor does a great job explaining the Teach Symposium there as well. And what's awesome, we talk global pandemic, everyone went virtual, started producing virtual things or virtual opportunities. Join us here, we're live, so on and so forth. And to see the accessibility of learning. Oftentimes we would have said, oh, join us in Madrid or come down to Florida. And half the time we're all thinking, how can we pay our flights, or how can we get down there? Celine and I were actually stapled to present in Boston when the COVID-19 hit. Literally, they shut down the conference as we were about to leave the week after. And then you just realize, we all had to pivot into this virtual world. And it's not just because of COVID, and I'm going on a bit of rant here, but it's not just COVID that's doing that. It's now realizing that we can do it, and it's effective, right? The hope here is that we don't get beyond the global pandemic and then say, oh, let's all go back in person and there's no more virtual opportunities, because I think this connects across the world, across the global educator community, to help bring them together. And so, Trevor, you mentioned, reaching out to people. And for our listeners out there who may be hearing about the Teach Symposium for the first time, who can they expect to see or hear from? Other than my creative classroom, obviously we're going to be there, but who can they expect to hear from and see on August 24th during the Teach Symposium?
Okay. Well, like I said, part of it started with me reaching out with the tools that I'm passionate about. And we have presenters coming from all over. We also have attendees coming from all over as well, all over the world. We have Dominic Trainer, who is an author and Adobe educator evangelist. We have David Baker from Pocket Labs. We have Sparking Curiosity with some of our homegrown talent. And including, we also have Ben Kelly, who's works with our district as well, who's going to be talking about some Minecraft. We have the Wakelet team coming. We have Dr. Jennifer Williams, who wrote Teach Boldly, who's very heavily involved with integrating sustainable development goals into education. She's also part of the Adobe team as well. We have Clara Gallien, who's going to be doing a session on the Adobe Creative Educator program. We have one of my professors coming to talk about global education, Professor Gal Brennan. We have Dr. Rashan Richards from Explain Everything, who's going to come and speak. We have tons of people from Flipgrid coming. There's going to be 4 different sessions from them. So we have Ann Cosma, we have Gile Garcia Lopez, we have Jornay Armand, we have, who am I missing?
Jess
Boyce, yeah. We mentioned Punk Rock Podcast, so we have those two gentlemen coming to see us. We have Sarah Rankin, another New Brunswick person, educator. She's going to be doing a session on microbits and MS MakeCode. We have Donald Cheney from Math Whiteboard. We have people from Apple. We have people from Microsoft. We have FreshGrade. We have, what do you want?
This seems like an extensive list for one day. So how do people join the Teach Symposium? Because you've mentioned sessions and things like that, and obviously this is all virtual. How are they joining a session? Are they just kind of sitting at their computer all day and just people are kind of elevator pitching them, or how is this going to work?
So what it is, we're setting up on Microsoft Teams, and we don't have the links for the sessions up yet. So you can register. Register has its benefits because I have a box of swag to give out, but it's only going to registered people. But we also have, we're just going to have links. So we're putting together a Wakelet event program plus our website, which will have all the links posted. And the website is an Adobe Spark. We're trying to promote the tools that we're showcasing through promoting the product, right? Or the conference. So people can just go there, look at the schedule. They can click on the sessions that they want to go to, and it'll take them right into the Microsoft Teams room. So they can skip around from session to session. They can, but each session will have its own unique link.
That's awesome. And so is it recorded for kind of an on-demand as well?
That's the hope. I'm very much hoping to remember that we remember to hit the record button for every session. But the plan is to have them post it, yes.
That's awesome. And what an amazing lineup, for people to be able to join this session. So what is the website? So obviously I'll throw it down in the show notes for our listeners and our viewers to see, but is there a quick website that we can ramble off, or is it, because it's an Adobe Spark, right? So it's probably got a long URL. So
exactly.
Maybe we just hold off and put it in the show notes.
The best way would be to go to the at Teach Symposium on Twitter, and then you can find the link to the website there.
Okay, awesome. And we'll throw that in the show notes too, for everyone to go and follow Teach Symposium on Twitter to see all the great updates, because you've also been creating some amazing graphics for each of these. Like I follow you on Twitter, and I think you're more active than like my teenage niece with this Teach Symposium, which is a good thing. I'm saying that's a good thing. You're posting all these graphics. So how are you doing this? How are you creating this? And I'm sure you're a busy guy, and I'm sure, Celine, you're busy as well. How are you finding the time to put together all these graphics and keep active on social media? Because I followed you a few weeks ago. You gave away sticker packs, which is awesome.
Yeah, that really, I think, increased our following on Twitter and our registrations. Teachers like stickers as much as their students do, I think.
I think more so. I got we got so many responses with people just saying, "How do I get stickers? Give me stickers." I'm like, whoa. And the conference is free, but apparently postage is not. So, and I think I only mailed it one in Canada, so everything else has been international mail. So, it's
that's something for the notes for the future as you move forward. Maybe they can be shipped directly from the organizations. But kudos to you guys for even thinking of that. Like, great marketing strategy as well to throw out those sticker giveaways, kind of contests, and those name placards that you've been doing, because they're super nice too. To say welcome a presenter, or even you've been doing a few for people who are attending to say welcome, so-and-so for attending the Teach Symposium. That's great as well. Almost like a keepsake for those teachers who want to keep it and share it.
I have to say that's all Trevor's doing, and a genius behind the scenes. He's working really hard at creating a great platform for us on Twitter, and really have people engaged in there, because really it is one of the best platforms to be able to reach the most amount of people. And I know that we both truly wanted this symposium to be an event that was made for teachers by teachers. And knowing that we have reached educators across the world, I know for myself has been really eye-opening and exciting, and I'm looking forward to the day.
Yeah, actually, we started with our district in mind, but that's actually a small percentage of the attendees that have registered. And our first registered attendee was actually from Bangladesh. Our strongest following is probably from Croatia.
Wow.
So,
But it just goes to show you, right? You put it out there, you created something, and the following is there. Because educators, as we know, we are all educators. We want to learn. We want that opportunity to grow. And you mentioned earlier, the presenters that are coming to give sessions is ed tech that you want to use. It's ed tech that you think has value in the classroom. So what can individuals who are going to participate in the Teach Symposium expect from sessions? Are they 30 minutes long? Are they an hour long? Is it a how to use a product, or is it what can the product provide? So what is it that people can expect when they attend?
So go ahead, Trevor.
I was just going to say, each session depends on how the presenter is going about it. Like, the sessions are approximately 30 minutes. Like, we have a 40-minute time frame for each session, but we're hoping to keep the actual presentation piece down to about half an hour and then have a little bit of time for question and answer, ideally. Some of them are, here's what our product is. Some of them are going to be like the Flipgrid. They have 4 different sessions, and they're not just how to use Flipgrid. I mean, it's talking about their virtual field trips. It's talking about building community. It's talking about resiliency, unlocking resiliency. Like, it really depends on the session. So yeah, you have to come and find out.
And I think too, like, I can speak for Sparking Curiosity at least. Our session is going to be things that educators can take back to their classroom and try the following week. So I think there's going to be a little bit of everything for everyone.
And that's the best way to package something, is kind of providing a variety of tools, strategies, and even presentations, because there are some people who kind of want to just sit and get, right? I want to listen to you. I want to know about it, and then I'll take it and move on. And then there are others who want to sit there and actually try it with you. I want to open up Flipgrid and I want to snap a picture, or so on and so forth. So it's great to have that variety and that kind of that interest to say, ooh, what is going to happen during this session, right? And what can we expect? That's super awesome. And I think that's an amazing opportunity. So is there a hope that this happens annually? Is that the goal?
I think the goal is potentially to have it happen more than once a year. But for right now, we're gonna start with once and see how that goes. But with the feedback we've received, and just the amount of engagement that we've received on Twitter and with our registrations, I think it's something that we can most definitely repeat yearly, if not multiple times a year.
That's awesome, right? You shoot for the stars. You start with one, see how it goes, and the demand will be there. Educators, like I said earlier, want to learn. They want to continue to grow, and that demand will be there. And obviously, through doing it the first time, you'll build connections and hopefully have other industries reach out to you and say, hey, we'd love to be at the Teach Symposium in the fall edition or in the spring edition, whatever it might be. I think that's an awesome idea, and you can only go up from here, right? I think there's going to be that high demand. So kudos to both of you for sparking your own curiosity by thinking, how do I do this? How can we start by building something and really showcasing to the world that it can be done. I don't want to say from the comfort of your own home, but you can put this out there so that people can enjoy it from the comfort of their home, watch it, enjoy it, and make those connections globally. I think it's fantastic.
As you mentioned, like, I have been contacted personally with some people who asked to be able to be a part of it. Unfortunately, our schedule is full. We cannot add anything else right now. And also, I had inquiries coming to me asking about, how did we set this up? I had a teacher in Poland who wants to set up something in Poland that mirrors kind of what we're doing, right? So yeah, people are out there and people want to do stuff, so they want to learn.
That's awesome. Build that connection, build that network of people, and you never know, you might inspire someone else, like you said, to build their own. And then Teach Symposium is not just one; it could be multiple across the world. Although it may not be called Teach Symposium, but you know that that's happening, and you're kind of building, this ability to learn professionally, virtually from anywhere. Through different kind of organizations. I think that's awesome. And so I appreciate both of you joining me on the podcast, because our listeners love learning about EdTech. Our listeners love hearing about new things and how to use them, how to help implement that in the classroom. And so I think the Teach Symposium is the place for them to go. And My Creative Classroom will be there. We are offering a session about how to start podcasts in school, whether it be in your classroom, whether it be a whole school podcast, whatever it might be. We go through the tech, the how, and the why to make it happen within a school. So before we head out, do any of you have anything else that you'd like to add to our listener or viewers before we head out?
Come join us on August 24th. I think it's going to be a very fun and exciting day. Don't forget to register if you want some of the cool swag that Trevor was talking about earlier. We do have some fun things to give away, and I look forward to seeing everybody on the 24th.
And with the fun stuff, the big buzz right now is we do have some stuffies, some stuffed animals to give out. Like it's these EdTech people, they're creative. But again, register would be fantastic. We love to see as many people out as possible on that day. We are trying to do this for all of you. We're getting nothing out of it except for lack of sleep, trying to get everything done. But yeah, please enjoy.
Absolutely. And I encourage all of our listeners, all of our viewers to head over to Twitter, follow at Teach Symposium, and follow that link to the website to register. I'll throw it in the show notes as well for anyone who's there. Please go check it out. It's a one-day event. It's all virtual from the comfort of your computer. And you can select the sessions that you want to choose, whether it be Sparking Curiosity, could be Flipgrid, could be Adobe, could be My Creative Classroom, could be a punk rock classroom. Whatever one that you choose, it's you kind of select as you wish, whatever meets your needs. Appreciate you both being here and sharing your story about education and where the Teach Symposium came from. I will see you on August 24th. I have also registered, waiting for my free sticker pack, but I can understand you might have to mail it kind of far. So anyways, to both of you, I appreciate you joining me on My Creative Classroom. For all of you out there listening and viewing, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at MyCreativePod. And as always, let's be creative. My name is Brian Willett, and this was My Creative Classroom.